I was going to mention the babies in the 2-year-olds, which I'll do. Um, some didn't train as great yesterday. Some made breaks. Some were scratched. Why were they scratched? When will they be back? What your expectations are? These are the things that I want to talk about in the 2-year-olds. So I thought I would go through and make a video of how each set went yesterday. What I saw, because I got a chance to see the video replay last night of the whole thing. So, overall, a great day of training. I think, even the people out there, and I said this in the opening, even the people out there on social media that continually rip the stable.ca apart, run me down, even those people, should recognize that there are some decent horses here, especially for what we paid for them. They might knock us because we buy too many $15,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 horses, or less, or a little bit more, or they may knock us because we haven't bought enough high-ticket horses or whatever they think is a good horse. But at the end of the day, right now, here and now, in the stable.ca, presently, we have a lot of talented horses. So let's get right at it. Set one saw a horse that obviously I have an affinity for, that I've said multiple times has really caught my eye from day one, was Won My Heart Hanover, and she looked tremendous yesterday. You could see how composed she is on the track, how quick she is, how durable she is. Won My Heart Hanover was very, very good yesterday. A horse that I didn't get to see how good she went until after, when I saw the replay, was Tipsy and Dixie. What the hell is this? Bubbly. That's pretty good. It's non-alcoholic, in case you're wondering. Tipsy and Dixie was second, and looked very, very good. Now we talked about Miss Meringue. A little shout out to James for putting her hobbles on long again, having her make a break. She was great on Wednesday when I went with her. I think either I'll go with her next time, or I'll set the hobbles for her when she goes out. But I understand where James is coming from. She looked comfortable, we'll go. But as I said to him, I would rather her have the hobbles on a little tight and trot great yesterday and say, hey, we can let those hobbles out, than the other side of that coin, which is what took place. Let the hobbles out before you train, have her make a break, and then have everybody email me and say, why'd she make another break? When I know why she made another break. So I think it was just need to be a little more cautious when we're going with the horses on drone day. And nevertheless, Miss Meringue has been fantastic, was great all week, and made a break yesterday. And if you are astute enough to take a look at where the hobbles were before she made a break, I think Curtis zooms in right before she makes a break for out of the way it was, just the way it went. You can see the hobbles were loose and she made a break. I'm Hill on Wheels. Mario said he just touched himself and he lost him in the turn. It's not a big deal. He's going to have to learn to touch himself and drive forward. As I said to Mario, said, on a bigger track, this horse would be great. Yeah, but he's got some stakes in Freehold this summer also. So he's going to have to learn how to negotiate a half-mile track, I suspect, if we're going to do well with I'm Hill on Wheels this year. Mama Knows Best, a little physical thing with her. I noticed she washes out quite a bit. So for those of you that aren't horsemen, what washes out means is when they're pulled up, she's covered in white foamy sweat. Lots of horses will do this, but it's March. Really shouldn't be doing this now, and could just be she gets a little agitated, a little wiry. So I'd said to Jason, maybe talk to the veterinarian about getting some electrolyte supplements for her feed and her water. I think that will go a long way for the betterment of Mama Knows Best. And then Rose Run, Why Not? I didn't know what took place until Danny showed me later. We always have a freak accident or two. It should be fine. Her toe weight came off. They're screwed, so for those of you wondering, I'll always get the question, what are the things on the front of their feet, the little gold things? So those are literal weights. They're 2-ounce, 3-ounce toe weights. Sometimes in the old days you get them a little heavier, but generally speaking, they're 2 ounces or they're 3 ounces of just sheer weight, and they help the horses trot. So they're screwed into the bottom of the foot where there's no, it'd be like your fingernail, but if your fingernail was that thick. So they're screwed into the bottom of the foot. It came off. Hit her in the stifle, cut her stifle, just a little cut, little nick, probably bruised it a little bit. And I couldn't figure out why she runs. She never runs there, and she's been so good lately. And then Danny told me, sure enough, it come up and cut her stifle, and which is the rarest thing. It could have easily just come up and hit Danny in the face and broke 5 of his teeth or his jaw. 2 ounces of heavy enough weight coming at your face. I saw Dan Clements get hit with a shoe or toe weight one time in the face. Ugh. I mean, he was ugly to begin with, so I know. It just cut him open, and it's not nice. So obviously these things can happen, and it happened to Rose Run Why Not yesterday. So At least that's an explanation of what happened to her. Then in set number 2, we scratched Keystone Raven. She a little bit of a high temperature, didn't go with her. Surreal Love. Harry took offense to the fact that James is going with the horse and not Harry. Harry loves this horse. That's a little feather in his cap. The horses is that Harry actually loves going with this horse, and Harry was short a caretaker yesterday, so I sent James down, and I think it kind of rubbed Harry the wrong way. Certainly, my apologies. I certainly didn't mean to. But Harry likes Surreal Love. James went with him yesterday. He was good. Brilliant Corners made a little break, jumped over something. But as I said, this isn't the first time he's made a break in that place. It's just a matter of getting him better. He looked much better after, but he did make a break over some stuff yesterday. Cirrus Blue Chip was good again. I know a lot of people say, geez, he looks lame. He's a little pinchy, but I think he's got a bit of a rocky gait anyway, and we don't have his hobbles very tight. So I think he just gets a little rolly, but he can really pace, and he was coming to me down the lane. Broadway Roll was exceptionally good yesterday again, and really put it on them. Cirrus Blue Chip was coming, but I had her shut down at that point. Those two horses looked very good in there. Cut the Line was very, very good again. This affiliate I just finished making the payment to the Battle of the Bells on. Mario loves her. This is Brushcut's sister, and she looked very good again yesterday. And then Sunshine in May. Kevin just sat at the back, but he put a snake cord on her. It's hard to believe a horse that small needs a snake cord, but she can get a little grabby. And Kevin just kept her at the back and said, she's a firecracker. I love this filly. And she was good also. Third set came down to Tanzanite Tricks. Now, for Paul and his partners on Tanzanite Tricks, a lot of people have asked me, is this filly any good? I couldn't really truthfully answer you because I hadn't gone with her a lot. So I made a point to go with her the last 10 days or so. I thought she was great last Saturday. I thought she was good all week. Made a few little, even more adjustments on her yesterday, and you can see the growth of her, how much better she was. In the week before, I went to put her in gear the last quarter, and she just kind of floundered, fighting with the hobbles, and got a little cranky and got out of gear. Yesterday, she trotted hard right to the wire, and her and Adrenaline Rush were heads apart at the wire. Adrenaline Rush was very, very good also. You guys remember back, take a look at how he went yesterday, and then look back at some of his older videos. You could never move him to the front in the middle of our training sets, and then have him. Now I did remove, but have him fight and then take over the lead. And I do believe he got up to win, but he never showed that grit, that eye of the tiger. Yesterday was probably one of the first training trips where Kevin said, "I love this horse," and I said, "Well, that's good." I said, he's a brother to Miss Brampton Beast. I thought she left a little money on the table last year, hanging a bit and being a little stubborn. And her brother looks like he's getting better and better and better every day. Very impressed with what Kevin's done with Adrenaline Rush in a very short time. Tanzanite Tricks, as I said, was good. Momo is good every single week. James was happy with his colt, working on my Beach Bod also. Can't Muscle Me. Flat line, I believe. I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure she had a flat line and did it right. And Cambridge Star was good also. Jason said he was just running in a little bit. I'm going to go with him this week and see if we can't get the wrinkles out of my little fella, Cambridge Star. Fourth set, we were smoking in there. Frilly Fringes, I moved her 2 or 3 times, and she was flying on the end of the mile. I gave her top billing this week, and I think she earned it. Eternity Road was good, but he made a break last week, and Frilly Fringes did not. Now, in fairness, Amy pointed out, and I forgot about it, she made a break in the first turn. She knuckled over. I have no idea why. I don't think the track was deep there. She just kind of knuckled over quick, caught herself, and then was flawless the rest of the way. This filly very rarely would ever make a break, and I know what she did. I just don't know why she did it, and never offered to make a break afterwards. Desperado was tremendous in there also. Blue Monk, as I said, cleared to the front, and then from what I could see, you could see anytime you see them get to the front and their ears start to go like this, they're looking around. They're not paying attention to their work. And I think that Blue Monk just went to sleep on the front end. Frilly Fringes come back out. Now, if you watch closely, Frilly Fringes, she's a big filly on a small track. And you got to just leave her alone in the last turn. Just let her kind of float along in neutral. And then you can see her tail move and her ears move. And as closer they get to the straightaway, she explodes forward. And she did everything I'd want to see a horse did. She was ultra impressive yesterday. Frilly Fringes was great. Desperado finished up strong. So Admirable Blue Monk, I think, were 3rd and 4th. Now, War We Welcome was coming off a couple of easy weeks because she was sick. She ended up trotting a good mile also, and Better's Hope was good also. Track was a little firm. I think Better's Hope will be a little better with a set of flip-flops up front for a little while. Kevin and I had talked about that. I suspect that's where he's going with him. But don't be surprised if you see some big improvements from Better's Hope in the next couple of weeks. Now, set 5 went with 4 horses. Stacy Hanover was exceptionally good. I brought her in at number 5 this week. When she trots nice, she really is a beautiful trotter. She gets a little pacey. You guys might miss it sometimes. She does get a little pacey, but when she puts it all together, man, she's a beautiful trotter. Fox Valley Britska's little troll, you know, makes breaks. He is such an ignorant little horse, but he never gets tired. And he made a break and was way back and comes storming back into it. I don't know what kind of horse he's going to be. He's sound right now, but man, oh man, he's an ignorant little bugger. Walk on the Moon was good again, and then Northern Blizzard made a break. I'm going to start going with Northern Blizzard this week. He's right close. I don't know what's going on with him right now. It might be a little growth spurt or something, but this horse was very, very good in January. Very good at the start of February, and then kind of fell off the wagon a little bit the last few times we went. So I'm going to go with him tomorrow. 6th set, we saw Kerry Big Stick with the first time with the hobbles on, run all over the track. Made some shoeing adjustments yesterday. We're going to start clamping down on him this week and see if we can't get him proper. Barbie's Crown was awesome, did her work. Nobody looked better than GW Chrome. He looked like he toyed with them, and he did. GW Chrome is a very, very nice horse. And a feather in the cap, all these horses that are making mistakes, hi buddy boy, making mistakes and getting out of gear, you got to turn that down when I'm doing it though, all right? Okay. GW Chrome is exactly what we're trying to do. You know, take away all the rigidness and roughness and polish them up and let them do the work. GW Chrome has turned into a nice horse. You guys are going to pay very close attention to GW Chrome moving forward. As I said, Barbie's Crown finished up strong, was good. A little pacey down the backstretch before, so I guess after the mile marker. Down the backstretch by the barn area, and then finished up strong, never put a step in down the lane. Very impressed with the way she did her work. Sweet Ambitions was good. I thought she'd be a little bit stronger. She was pretty good. Darling Please made breaks. Girls with Swirls finished up 4th. Other than that, just Kerry Big Stick and Darling Please made breaks. Everybody else was pretty good. 7th set, we were going along quite a clip again, and James got away in the 2-hole behind Beef and Cheddar with Well and Down, and got up and beat him at the wire. She was flying at the wire. This was a very good set of horses. Braemar was closing hard, another horse that hadn't trained hard in 2.5 weeks, but closed up very, very hard. Warwy Was Up in Roy Hill made tiny, very odd and rare breaks. Now, Warwy Was Up has made breaks in that place before, and I'd said that to Kevin. He said he's getting on the right line a bit. Not a big deal. He put a head pole on him. So, Warwy Was Up and Roy Hill made very kind of odd breaks. I'm sure they won't be repeated in the near future. And then Gray is the New Red actually was 3rd. I was 4th with Braemar. A very, very good set of horses there. They were really smoking the last 3/8 of the mile. No, last 5/8 of the mile. Set number 8 had I'm a Lovely Lady, Eternity Road, Holy Chick, Aglariam, and Off-Road Hanover. Now, I had said Off-Road Hanover has got one of the most perfect gaits. He's got a very fluid gait, but when I asked him to go, his first thought was to hesitate. His first thought was hesitation, and that can't happen. And we're going to change his bridle and his bit around a little bit this week. I could have told you that was here. She had her other one. But ultimately, Off-Road Hanover, it may lead to castration in the next week, where you look at a horse like Eternity Road was going through the same types of things around December, January. We castrated him, and he's a bulldozer now. I think that Off-Road Hanover would make a much better gelding. We'll see how this went. I'm not going to make any knee-jerk reactions. We'll see how this week turns out. Horse that was extremely impressive. Now, we all should, even though when Eternity Road's on his game, he is something to behold. Just a beautiful, beautiful trotter. But Aglariam showed up yesterday, never put a step in, blew by me, inhaled Off-Road Hanover coming out of the turn, and then I think just went to sleep a little bit, and James comes screaming on the end of it. I don't really think there was much he could do, but anyway, he's a pretty impressive colt. But Eternity Road got up to win. Aglariam was very impressive in 2nd. Off-Road Hanover was impressive enough. I'm downplaying it just because I was sitting behind him, and I know he had a lot more to offer. That will come out this week, or it'll come out in a few weeks, one or the other. But Off-Road Hanover, I think, is a very, very nice horse. Holy Chick made a very rare break. I think we know how to fix that. She had a mark up on her jack. Not a big deal. White Tiger hits up there too. So Holy Chick, we can put a little set of high trot boots on her. I think that will be fine. And then I'm a Lovely Lady. Mario said she was just a little warm and got bottled up and made a break when Steve made a break. Not a big deal there. She's made breaks before, but they're few and far between, I think. So I'm a Lovely Lady, Eternity Road, Holy Chick, Aglariam, and Off-Road Hanover. Very impressive set. Holy Chick, the rarest of breaks yesterday, but Eternity Road was fantastic. Then we went to the 9th set. I put myself at fault for Italian Grit. That was an impressive move. I didn't know this horse could do this. I rarely sit behind him, but I'm going to sit behind him much more often now. This is a good-looking colt, and he did his work really, really well. You can see, and as I said it in the video at the start, watch when he clears to the front, getting into the last turn. Watch his ears. You can see them prick a little bit, and he looks around, he's thinking instead of doing. And when you're doing that, you're not paying attention, and he rolled off going into the turn. If he had just attacked the turn rather than stalling when he got there, there wouldn't have been a break. And he showed me a lot yesterday. Impressive. Let's roll on. Team Rolly got the job done yesterday. Everybody, I love Let's Roll On, right? He was of the Southwind Spirits we bought. He was one I thought was the best looking one and the best one. And he's turned out to be, now that we sold the other filly, he's soundly in third, well behind Eternity Road and still behind Can't Deny My Spirit. But Let's Roll On got the job done yesterday, James said. He looked good doing it. I was happy with him. My Jazz finished up strong also. Argento was a little flatter than I thought he would be. And Lincoln Hanover was good again. We're just taking our time with Lincoln Hanover. Shh, honey, just relax. Lincoln Hanover was a little bit flat, but we're just taking our time with him. When the corks come off, we'll start training him a little bit harder, and they're coming off this week. And then in the last set, Captain's Maid was very, very good. Only one flaw. She was on that right line hard, finishing up. You can see that right line is really taut, really strong, and that left line isn't. I think that's at right hind ankle where we had that OCD out. Not a big deal. That will get better and better and better. Much like my wrists were sore when I come back, I would suspect there's going to be a little pinchiness, a little soreness in that right hind ankle. We'll work on that with Captain's Maid, but she showed a lot of grit yesterday. 2 or 3 moved, was very good. James, I got the scoop on what took place with Jesse Balboa. Harry said, let's put the hobbles on him. James said, no, he'll be all right. Again, James was 0 for 2 on the they'll be all right list yesterday. Jesse Balboa made a break. Not a big deal. We'll loosen him up real good on Wednesday. The Fat Cobra finished second, trained good again. That's My Girl was an okay third. I expect more from this filly. I watched the video again. She was okay. She's a much better horse than that. And Rab Midnight again rounded out the 4 that didn't make a break. I suspect that will be a trend that continues for a little while. Just yet, he's got a lot of work to do. To get out of the doghouse. So that was all the sets from yesterday. Some very, very impressive miles. Now, I just went through the highlighter quick and highlighted the horses that I thought looked impressive. One, My Heart Hanover, was awesome. Tipsy and Dixie was great. Cirrus Blue Chip, Broadway Roll, Adrenaline Rush, and Tanzanite Tricks were very good. Frilly Fringes was exceptionally good. Desperado was good. Stacy Hanover was very good. GW Chrome, Barbie's Crown, Well and Down, Beef and Cheddar. Virtually everybody that stayed at it, and that's at Grey as a New Red and Braemar, were both very good. And then in the 8th race, Eternity Road and Aglaria M were exceptionally good. Off-Road Hanover, I think, has a lot more to offer, and that will come out in the next month or so. Italian Grit, although he made a break, I don't care. He showed me a lot more than even I thought maybe he had yesterday. Let's Roll On, My Jazz were very good. And then in the last set, Captain's Maid was exceptionally good. So a great training day yesterday. I was very, very happy with the way everything went. Be back in a minute. We're going down to the barn to check out the ponies. Be back. Why does it keep saying park assist system? Assistant parking. Parked all the time. Anyway, take care.